Okay.
Don't you know the dance to this?
Step by step. Oh, baby. I want to be little Joey Mack.
He was my favorite too.
I want to be Jordan Knight.
What's all over your shirt?
Like, I can't, like, it's water. I just brushed my teeth. I was rushing. And I washed my face. No, when I wash my face, then the water gets on my beard and drips on
Monday.
You asked me a question and then you don't let me answer the question. Like, what's going on here?
Well, that's typical. Happy Monday, everybody.
You don't want to ask. You don't want to know the answer. Don't ask.
I don't.
Ask me how I'm doing. Ask me how I'm doing. Say, Nick, how you doing?
Nick, how you doing?
Oh, man, I'm so horrible. Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, see, that's what you do. You don't really want to know the answer.
I'm actually a horrible toothbrusher. I'm very messy. It's all over my bathroom.
This actually isn't from toothbrushing. It's from my beard gets water in it when I wash my face. Sometimes I don't get all the water off. Hashtag beard problems. But my girl's coming over to trim my beard on tomorrow, so that'll be good.
$50.
Well, it's $25. It's $25 at the shop, but I'm not going to the shop because I can't wear a mask at the shop because you got to cut my beard, and I'm not going to a barber shop.
I'm getting my roots did tomorrow too, so I had to cancel. My roots did. All right. I told you yesterday, Mike, I haven't even showered. I haven't brushed my teeth. Literally.
Can we talk about how Caryn did what I do? She didn't shower. She didn't brush her teeth. No, I'm just kidding. You give me so much grief about, like, have you showered? Have you changed your shirt? And then she was in bed all day. So,
I know my body just checked me this week, and I rested almost. I mean, all day Saturday I was with my mom, but other than that, I rested all weekend. Like, literally, don't even remember being conscious. So it was good. I put clean sheets on my bed, so that was promising. But other than that, not a lot got accomplished.
I guess that's why you haven't texted me back in 4 days.
Well, you're like, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. I asked you if you were okay, like a good friend should.
That was sweet. It was actually very
completely silent.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the record, Caryn does not text me back anymore. She literally waits until Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to talk to me in front of people. Maybe she wanted to be more organic.
You know what? I was off the radar. And so thank you for being a true fan who noticed, Caryn hasn't been around.
Yeah. It's shocking. I actually care. I know.
You've been yelling at me for 2 weeks for my one-word text messages, responses. And so I will do better.
So you just decided to not respond.
Yeah.
Zero word texts. You know what? 0 words.
What'd you guys do all weekend? I'm sweating now. I'm so uncomfortable. We're wearing pink today at the office for Breast Cancer Month.
Oh.
So, yeah, okay. I got to change. Woo.
You just asked me what I did this weekend, and then you got up and walked away. I just want everyone to see what happened just now. No, what did I do this weekend? Nothing. My wife and I were like, let's just let the kids play video games all weekend. We had no patience. By the end of the week, it's just sometimes we're just it was raining out. Sometimes we're just you know what?
Yeah.
Just let them play video games and watch YouTube. We just don't have the patience. We just can't parent sometimes. It's just here,
I think parents are the most amazing superheroes in the universe because I don't know how parents of school-age children are doing it and staying somewhat sane. I really think it's unbelievable.
Julie Youngblood says that you have me time blocked. So you have time blocks to respond to my text messages, which Julie, that tells me that I'm not in her schedule that often. So anyway, no.
You are. Wait, Julie Youngblood, who did a CrossFit challenge, made it to the finals, had
Boom!
a rope climb, total badass. Well, I literally laid on the couch and ate pudding. and didn't shower. Julie is totally working out.
Yeah. Oh wait. I just wanted to, there's something I wanted to tell you, and I completely forgot. It'll come back to me. I should start like taking notes of things that I want to say because I just forget sometimes. But it was I remember what I was going to tell you.
You should text me, and then you can refer back. That's what I do.
I remember. Okay. We watched a great movie this weekend.
What was it?
On Netflix. It's called The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Oh, someone else told me to watch that too.
Yeah. It was fantastic. I mean, the cast, Sacha Baron Cohen, Eddie Redmayne, Frank Langella. I mean, it keeps going. I can't even it's one of those movies where you're like, Michael Keaton.
Okay, what? 3 to go.
What?
Oh, you're saying the Chicago 7, so I was counting to 7.
Yeah, I know. And then you're watching it and you're like, it's one of those movies you're like, hey, that guy's from that other movie. And then you're on IMDb looking to see who it is. Oh, yeah.
Do you guys do this a lot?
What?
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a gavel.
That's right.
Yeah, by the way, the judge in that trial was senile.
When people get out of control, my assistant MCA bought me this gavel, which is like the greatest gift because my ALC meetings can get a little wild and fun. I got a gavel. Just like,
you know what's funny? So I texted Jason Abrams over the weekend and I was like,
did he respond?
Yeah.
Oh.
I talked to Jason about a lot of stuff like this. Well, you know, we talk a lot about like stuff like having to do with this. Like I texted him the Chicago 7 thing because it goes along the lines of sometimes what we talk about. And of course, Jason Abrams is like the only person that I know who would actually be like, oh yeah, I read the court transcripts of that trial. Of course you did. Of course you read all 9 months of court transcripts.
No, wait, did he? Like, are you joking? Are you serious?
No, he's dead serious. No. Oh, no. Yeah. He goes, oh, yeah, I read the court transcripts of that. I'm like, oh. I go, well, then you'd actually like the movie because Aaron Sorkin is the writer and director, director of West Wing. Amazing writer.
That show, I think West Wing was one of the all-time best shows.
Oh, my gosh. I'm about to binge it again because HBO Max just put out a West Wing reunion special, and I got all nostalgic. But the movie, Chicago 7, the court scenes are actually the transcripts from the court, which is pretty sweet. So anyway, go ahead. What did you do this weekend?
I told you what I did. You weren't listening.
Oh yeah, you went to see your mom. Yeah. So.
No, I hung out with my mom. I bought 2 new chairs for like my office in the basement, but furniture is taking a long time, 12 weeks to get made. 12.
You know what's funny? And Ashley Furniture's just opened up near our house, and Ann is so excited because they didn't have them in Michigan before.
Yeah.
You have to make an appointment.
Right. Yeah. So they said because of COVID, social distancing, whatever, 12 weeks to get anything made. So I guess in 4 months, I'm really going to be excited to show you these chairs. And oh my God, I hope I still like them.
Yeah, like we need to get a new couch because we've had the same couch in our den for like 2 years and it's just gone to what because of kids and animals.
Yeah.
But we're just like, oh my gosh, like we should have thought 6 months ahead because
it is crazy 12 weeks because I had this whole plan of what I was going to do. I had it all in my head, and then by Christmas it was all going to be done, and now it's going to be like spring and summer, and I'll be like, did I want these chairs? And thank God one of my favorite agents, Lynn Girding, is an interior designer. So I texted her because I'd never in my life bought chairs and then bought the fabric like a grown-up does. I've never done that before.
How come now it's some reason all at once you need new furniture? Like we need a new couch, we need a new dining room table.
I asked the guy. I asked him. I said, "Why are you guys so busy?" Because for me, I'm like, if I'm going to have to be at home through the winter or whatever, I want to really enjoy my space. He said, "We are so busy," and so I went to a locally owned store because I did not want to go to a franchise because I want to support a local business. And actually, the mayor of Naperville was there too, buying furniture.
Oh, you were like, "Well, hello, Mr.
Hello, Mayor. Hello, Mayor."
Good morning to you, Governor.
I actually left him alone because he was like, it was Saturday. He was shopping with his wife.
Were you like,
I'd be like, selfie with the mayor in Wheaton.
Hashtag mayor selfie.
But the guy he said they've been so busy. I'm like, I totally get it because everyone, people that are at home, they actually want to enjoy their space. Something in real estate my mom always taught me was you tell people to do all this work to their house and then they're like, well, this is how I've always wanted it. And they're only doing it to move. Like, I want to enjoy my home. I want to live in my home. I want to enjoy it. So a lot of work.
The fact that you know what your mayor looks like is very strange to me.
We've had lunch with them.
I actually
he knows who Caryn Prawl is. Let me be straight about that.
That's true. The mayor actually, now you think it out, you say it. The mayor of my town, Bloomfield, New Jersey, that I lived in before I moved here, he and I were chill. We would text. He was a good dude.
Yeah, it's really.
He would always ask me, like, he would always message me, like, about real estate stuff. I'm like, cool.
We have like 500,000 people, and the mayor gives out his cell phone. Like, he's a pretty good dude.
Oh, you have okay. So that's a big town. So the mayor of the town, the mayor of my old town, we only had 50,000 people in the town, so it wasn't even a full-time job. Like, he was like in HR or something for like a corporation, but he was the mayor of our town.
Oh no, this is like his full-time gig.
Full-time, yeah. When you have 500,000 people, that's a big job.
I mean, it's probably like 300,000, but like right in the city limits, but unincorporated and stuff. All right, I'm going to bring in
Julie Youngblood wants to know if the mayor was kissing babies, and Kimberly Meserve says, well, obvi, the mayor knows Caryn.
I think I want to bet he had to have lunch with me or something, like an auction. Okay. I don't think he loved it.
I can see why.
Well, he did come on and do a power up with us too, though. Like, we do power ups every morning in our offices, and he did come on and do a power up, and it was great. I mean, he's a good dude. All right, let's bring on the mayor of Keller Williams, though, shall we?
Hashtag mayor selfie.
I've known this person, I guess 3 or 4 years now. We can talk about it, but she's one of my favorite humans literally in the world because she gets in a lot of trouble and it's really fun.
She gets in so much trouble.
Fish, who are you? Katie Fish. And guess what? Her phone number ends in a 3474. Fish.
Yes.
Go ahead. What's up, Katie?
847-560-FISH. So I'm so glad.
You just told all 13 people your phone number.
Oh my God. So much less stress knowing that it's only 13, not 13,000. You brought me in during the mayor part.
The mayor canceled on us, so.
The mayor. So I told you about my yoga story. I'm not bringing that one up today, but do you know how my mother said to me, young ladies who do things like that will never be the mayor of anything. I was like, Mom, it was a bachelorette party. I didn't own those things. And just because Dad picked up the pictures at Walgreens because I still live in your house and the same phone number, like whatever. And she took them and she slid them across the kitchen table like she was a bartender,
like a blackjack dealer.
Ooh. So I shall not be the mayor of anything. But recently I did get a referral from a mayor in Minnesota, and his brother and sister-in-law lived in St. Charles. And I told him the story and he's like, oh, wow. Yeah, well, those are paper pictures, right? They're not on the internet.
Well, Katie, you and I would not be employed if we had internet back when we grew up. So who are you? What's your name? Katie Fish?
I'm Katie Fish. You can call me Cat Fish, but only if you are a lead calling me, because anybody who knows me calls me Katie afterwards. If I get a call, Cat Fish, yes, I know that you're calling off a sign or something. But it works. You see how that can work? Hello, is this Cat? And I'm like, whole family needs to quiet down. It's somebody new.
It's a buyer.
It's a buyer. It's happening. I've been with Keller Williams 12 years. It's the only real estate company I've been with, but I worked for New Home Builders for 15 years prior to that. I was there during the housing bubble. Boy, do I love to show that graph. And every time I look at that graph during listing appointments, I'm like, whoa, that was fun inside of there. And then it crashed. And everybody kept saying, why wouldn't you be a real estate agent? Why would I? I know, I mean, working for the builders, we'd see these agents wander in and they would expect this. Well, it doesn't work like that if you're a good agent. So now I'm an agent.
And okay, so I like you because you're a troublemaker and you're willing to try anything. And we've been in trouble a little bit. Do you want to talk about what you did? What did you do, Katie?
Sure. I actually get a little bit nervous when I see Chicago Agent Magazine or Realtor Magazine come out with a little blurb that's something close to what I had done previously that was bad. And I think, oh man, they're going to quote my they're gonna quote me. They're gonna talk about the time that we're at that round table and at RISV. Even doing my continuing education, I thought they were gonna call me out. I'm cringing. So, do you want me to talk about the dollar?
Yeah, talk about the dollar.
So it's funny. So that guy, the first gentleman who allowed me to do the $1 process.
She did a $1 listing, everybody. Katie did a $1.
Oh,
listing.
that's so controversial, Kate.
Oh, you have no idea.
I did it, and the only one I really did with $1 on it was a condo in Naperville. She was in a short situation, and she said, I need to get as much as I can out of this place, and then I'm moving to Costa Rica, for which I got a referral from Caryn. Thank you very much. And going into this, I said, the reason we're going to list it for $1, and she said, I'll do anything, just sell it for top dollar. And I said, well, we really only know what top dollar is when you list it right where you think the buyers think it's worth. You create a frenzy, you have 108 or more people show up to this event. Then you ask for highest and best. And amazingly so, one person, and you can imagine, brought in $1 to the open house and said, here's my dollar, I'm buying this house. Oh, there will be multiple offers. Then when you ask for the multiple offers, these people know the clients know there was a frenzy. You end up selling the house for more than what it's worth, essentially. And that is the case here. What's that?
That's the hope.
Well, that's the hope. It doesn't happen every time, but there's a repair to that, but that's another story. So if you have 10 offers and you ask for the highest and best, and there was a frenzy, most likely you would be able to sell over and above what the appraiser or the buyers think it's worth, but that one buyer wants to pay more for it. So that's exactly what happened. I expected the condo would close between 137 and 139. It closed for 142.5. And everybody who did highest and best, with the exception of the guy for $1, he didn't want to come up any higher. They were within $500 of each other, and we didn't get the highest bid. Dollar-wise, we took the one that would close, and we worked it really hard, and then we made sure it closed. And that was it.
Was the guy who was he basically taking you completely literally, like, I offered you what you asked, how dare you not take my offer, or something like that?
He was completely joking around with me, but
we had another one that they weren't like that.
I did. That was the one that was $11,906. And he wouldn't let me end in my 108, which is my Cubs number, because he said, I'm a huge Sox fan. You see that bird feeder outside? It's a Sox.
Sox.
Katie prices every house ending in 108. Every house ends in 108.
Is that that's just your lucky number?
It's Cubs.
Yeah, it's my number. It was probably 8 years ago that I went to a training session. Hey, if you're a listing agent, you should have a number. And I thought, that number is going to be 777. Like, everybody digs that kind of a number, right? No, not everybody did. And then some people were like, well, why do you use that? And I said, just because it's a great number. But it didn't really have anything firm to it. So now that I started using, once the Cubs won the World Series, I saw that number. How many stitches in a baseball? 108. How many minutes in the movie Back to the Future Part 2 when they show that the Cubs won the World Series? 108 minutes long. Goes on and on. You can Google it. So when I explained to folks that it started with that, but and most clients just say, okay, you're going to price it at that. That's great. You know how that is, listing appointments. They just want to know the price. You go with it. It ends in 108. It's my marketing technique. And then they don't care. But it's a good conversation piece at open houses. Clients slow down. They'll talk to me about it. They'll laugh and say, well, I'm a Cardinals fan. Well, that just doesn't really matter. It's just all about, it's about marketing. And now that you've seen this 108, I bet you, since this home doesn't work for you, the next time you're on Zillow next week, I have 4 new listings coming up. Watch for the 108 at the end, and you'll know you don't even have to call me. Just come to the open house. See you next Saturday at noon at one of the 4 houses. Oh, okay. And even, catch on to it too.
Nick, we don't even need to talk at this. She's got it. Don't
Please.
you? Do you have any questions for Katie?
Yeah. Hey, Katie. Hey, Katie, how do you start your mornings? Let's talk about that.
Oh.
Well, okay, that is a very interesting topic. I was just talking to someone about this last week. We moved during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
We bought a home that we needed to completely renovate, and we closed in December while we were away. We were all so far away. We're in Hawaii.
Let's time out for that. For 6 to 8 weeks, every 6 to 8 weeks, Nick, are you listening? 6 to 8 weeks every year. Where do you go?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
One stretch. Hawaii. Yeah. So we get to enjoy the cat conservatory on Lanai. We get to hang out. We get to swim, beach, whatever. And it's a 4-hour time difference from Chicago. So if I'm up at 6 a.m. making calls, it's 10 a.m. here. Done. It's easy. My family's still sleeping. Actually, they better not still be sleeping at 7:50. Tanner's supposed to be off to school. So we moved during the pandemic. What was the topic here?
What do you do with your mornings?
Oh, yeah. So I used to live in a house that faced east-west. I used to live in a townhome that faced east-west. I mooched off my parents till I was 28 years old and lived in a house that faced east-west. This one faces north-south. I am having the hardest time getting up in the morning. I used to be up 4:45, 5 o'clock. I lay in bed and I go, oh my God, it's 6:15. What is going on? This is not working for me. So I think
you seem to be a very, what's the word? I don't know the word for it. You know, your pricing is a very specific.
Like superstitious.
I don't know if it's superstitious, more like Zen maybe, because especially with the location of your house, you know, everything you do, there's no, oh, I like the number 108, or, you know, I have this way because the sun comes in. There's all real.
No, I actually think she just thinks a lot about, she likes to understand the reason why behind things. Is what I think it is. Like I think that Katie likes to have an explanation for what something actually is or the reason.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah.
So the reason I'm not getting up at 4:45 anymore is because my house doesn't face east-west anymore. I used to wake up with the sun.
What if you slept east-west?
What if I slept east-west? No, it has to do with the sunlight coming in. Like I need that sunrise coming up to kind of wake me up. So I think I need one of those ambient lights. I'm gonna have to go on Amazon and see if I can find one that will just kind of brighten my bedroom. That's possible. So anyway, my dream morning is to be up at 4:45, 5 o'clock, be at my computer, get some stuff done, go through the paperwork from the night before, from the day before, whatever, look at my calendar, get the kid up, and then go work out and then hit the day.
So do you go, like when you wake up, you're right at your computer, or do you take a few minutes? Like, because for me, if I'm right at my computer, when I do that, like I end up getting really anxious and stressed before I'm even half awake. You know?
No, I'm really okay having my phone in my face while I'm waking up.
I know, because Katie, you're a night owl also. Like
Katie wakes up, she's like,
I bet she is actually.
Yeah, I do that. And I know I'm not supposed to, but that's how I'll wake up, clean up the email. So I know when I get to my computer, it's only to do. So it's to do stuff. And then with this new backyard that we have, I'm watching the deer every morning, watching them get up into the pumpkins that we smash out there every night, and work myself waking up, listen to some Zen music on my computer while I'm starting my day. And then the mayhem begins, and the 9-year-old's flying around, and my husband is chasing him around too. Yeah, it's great.
Is your husband chasing you around?
Not me. I'm chasing Tanner around.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so then you work from home primarily. I know that because I'm your OP. And I just want to share a little story. When I got lucky and I got to buy the office where because Katie Fish was there, I got to buy it. And I was so excited because I didn't buy this other office, and it all worked out because I walked into our former location, which I had never been to yet on day one, when I decided we were going to buy this office. And it was literally in the basement of a Domino's. No, Katie, am I lying?
This is true. And I don't know if you know this, but that property was owned by the bank. And my real estate mentor started me understanding commercial. And he said, I'm moving out of state and I need you to manage this property. This is what you do. He introduced me to all the tenants upstairs. And he says, this one's vacant. So
the Domino's. It was
and the Domino's. And there was one day I got a phone call from the front desk, and they said, Katie, we understand you manage the building, and Keller Williams is downstairs. So we something gross is like leaking through Paula's office. So I come in and I learned all about grease traps and teenage kids who don't clean out the grease traps. Then said regional Domino's manager who shows up and says, I'm going to teach you how to clean the grease traps. Sorry, Keller Williams, this will never happen again. Yeah, greasy, nasty, all over the office.
That's so gross.
I was like, we're moving. Hi, I'm Caryn, I'm your new OP. We're moving. And it was quite frightening because I'd heard about Katie for so many years that we were a lot alike and we would get along really well. And then I met her and I was like, oh, and you go to Hawaii for 6 weeks every year? And then she and her husband and son were matching outfits on the golf course. They were on the Golf Channel or on NBC on a Sunday. Like the golf commentators were like teasing. What did they say? What was their comment?
What was it? They were like, oh,
family together. Dresses together, stays together.
Yes.
Imagine a client coming to your office and you're like, yeah, it's in the Domino's basement.
No, this is how you'd explain it. Okay. So listen, so you're gonna see Domino's. You're gonna go down a little hill to the right. It's like a walkout basement. It's lower and Keller Williams' door is in the back lower level underneath the Domino's.
By the dumpsters.
And the bad housing.
Yeah, go around the back alleyway, kick the dumpster 3 times, and come down the stairs. It's underneath the Domino's.
It was a rough location. But now that's not the case anymore. And now everything's pretty. All right. So then you got in trouble. Because so Katie is the queen of using Keller Williams KWLS to get hundreds of people through her open houses.
Let's talk about it.
It's awesome.
Yes. And I love when other agents call me and say, okay, so it's happened again. There's a house that's listed with 108 at the end of it. And I can't find it in the MLS, but my clients can see it in Zillow and I'm mobile and I'm not going to go look for it. So I need to understand what's going on here. I say, well, I know exactly what address that is. And I probably understand which client that is because they called me last week on a different one. So I say to them, by the magic of Keller Williams and what we call the KWLS, we are able to get that home on the internet from my sellers prior to us going live in the MLS on Thursday. But it's in the MLS, it's in the private listing network, but a lot of agents just don't haunt that part of the MLS. So their clients find it first. They call them and they say, blah, 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 blah. So agents have trained themselves to say, does it end in 108? Well, it sure does. Okay, great. So it's one touch call. Katie, what do you have coming up? And then I tell them and they say,
that is so, now every agent is going to be like, I'm going to choose a number.
They should. There's only one way to choose them.
So then what she does, it's on the KWLS, so it's feeding to Zillow, and then we don't do any showings and we do a first look open house. So nobody can come in the house until that Saturday.
And there's no exceptions because there will be that guy who calls and says, my clients are going to the Bahamas on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's COVID. So sure, no problem. I said, I'll tell you what, this is usually what happens. The parents can go and do a Zoom call from the home. I can send them a 3D, whatever it is. If they're really the buyer, Bob, then I bet that they'll end up showing up in some sort of fashion.
For sure.
12 o'clock Saturday.
My clients go to Hawaii for 6 weeks.
Well, that's awesome. Guess what I did last year? I closed on a house while I was in Hawaii. So you know what? Buying it purchase is going to be 10 times easier.
Hey, let me ask you about your Hawaii trip. So, how do you make sure that you have that time available? I'm sure agents would love to hear, like, how do you take that much time away physically from your business every single year?
And her business has gone up. Her business has not gone, and it's not like she has a big team. So I'm excited for her to share, like, it's real. Like this.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah.
It's a lot.
I know that it can be done. I just want people who have limited belief to hear how it can be done.
I didn't think it could be done either.
It's prep work. Okay, so it starts as a basis of when I worked for new home builders. This is October 19th. It's right about this week that the management team would come into all of our sales centers, or me as the area sales manager, they'd call me in on Monday morning and say, you need to get out. And those girls, they need to sell all, and one guy need to sell all of those spec homes by December 31st. Okay, that's our fiscal year end. You get on it. So we were always as sales team members on October, November, December, even if it was the holidays, if it snowed and we heard that another agent wasn't going to go in, we would fight to be able to go to that sales office to work it, because a day that it snows is the best day to list a house. I don't know if anyone knows that, but there's a secret. So we were on. So my fourth quarters and December, and then of course that would just bleed into January when we work for the new home builders, because you're working, and you're not on this down. You're like up here making all these calls. People are home. They're taking your calls. They're on break. They're coming in to see the spec homes. Then they're buying, and then they're closing in January, and then they're closing in February, and they're picking up or they're building new, and then you have the strong spring. So I learned that technique. So I know, everybody knows that the day before you leave on vacation is your most productive day.
Yes.
So imagine if you're going to leave on a 6-week vacation, it's usually about 6 weeks prior to that 6 weeks vacation that is the most powerful time for me to tell folks, listen, I'm going to be in person until December 17th. I have a full team who can take care of the staging and the photography and everything. I sell homes. Every home that we have listed in December in the past 3 years, with the exception of 2 homes, went under contract in December and closed by February. Any homes that we closed in November, that we listed in November, 82% of them had sold and were closed in January. Therefore, 5 top months, let's say 4 top months an agent has on a consistent basis would usually be what, June, maybe May, because you have to work that March. Well, my other 2 are December and January.
Mine too, always when I sold.
So you just can't stop because, and people, the clients look at me and they're like, what? And we're going to take our house off the market. And I said, you're not going to take your house off the market. We've had it on all summer. So here's an example. We're going to take it off and let it breathe for a week. We're going to get back on for the holidays, because when people come into your home and it smells like pumpkin pie and they feel like spending money and it's the day after Black Friday and they just saw their husband spend $700 on a TV, they want to buy a $700,000 house. Your house is not coming off the market and you will take showings. Oh, okay. But you just have to plow through that. So when you leave your regular business desk, it's amazing. Like, I'm not even going to show you what my office looks like since I've moved. It's still a disaster. I'm like, I don't know what's in that box. It says A list paperwork for the desktop. Okay, we moved in June. I don't even know what's in that box. It's probably just papers. So when you're remote and all I have is my little laptop, that's all you need. We have Command, everything's in there. When I used to have .loop, everything is in there. I have a Google Drive, it's all in there. And then you want to make calls, it's on your phone, it's on Command. You just go. What else is there to do?
And you have a really good assistant.
Oh, she's amazing. Hillary is the bomb. So my director of operations, Hillary, handles all of that. And she is really good at asking, what is it that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing? What can I take off your plate? So Hillary is so great that I got her an assistant as well. So now we have an admin and a director of operations. So, I mean, you just can't fail when you have it set up. And if the clients trust you, and that's part of it, you just have to have that confidence. And sometimes I don't tell the clients that I'm leaving town because they don't normally see me after I do my listing appointment anyway. What is the difference? And I'm going to answer my phone, or if I don't and I'm still sleeping, then when I wake up, I'll call them back. It's all handled. Closing, sales, everything done. Pick up, someone needs to pick up the staging. It's not me anyway. Someone else will do that.
It's amazing. And so how many homes will you sell this year?
So my goal is 72. And of course, this year is bigger than anything we ever expected. Thank goodness the experts have been wrong. July 2020 was the biggest month I've ever had in my career. And I worked for Suntex Homes and we sold 68 condos in one weekend once. And July 2020 still beat that month. That's huge.
Well, Nick, you know this across the board. The agents who go to work every day.
Why was my mic muted? I wasn't
on your keyboard.
I was just sitting here for like the last 10 minutes.
You muted that section though. But listen, Nick, you know that when you were seeing the gap widening, the agents who are in production are having their best years ever.
By the way, so you said that thank goodness the experts are wrong. Here's my opinion. My opinion is the agents that are doubling and tripling their business this year, part of that is because there are agents that have this mindset that no one wants to transact, but they're wrong. So agents who are transacting are getting inundated with business that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And not to say, no, the ones that are treating their business like a business and the ones that are not letting the pandemic hold them back and not using those excuses are just blowing it up. And actually, I think now they're saying that there's going to be more home sales this year than last year, which is crazy.
Well, Katie's also a big student of the market too. So
Yeah.
she pays attention to the numbers and understands, and I think her new home construction. And I want to give a lot of credit to the way I coach Katie Fish.
Let's go.
Caryn, would you like to credit yourself?
Katie, do you want to share with the troops like how I coach you?
Yes.
When I tell you like something needs to change in your business.
Yeah, I was just reviewing my monthly production summary with my team at that time, which was Hillary and a part-time assistant. Mm-hmm. And we're at our beautiful Geneva office that Caryn has created, and you breezed through, and no one uses that side door. We're not supposed to, but Caryn was going right for it with her hand, and she sees me, and she sees the team, and I go, hello. And you said, oh, what's going on over here? And I said, we're just reviewing our numbers. And you said immediately, that's right. You need 2 buyer's agents. I'm going to go upstairs, grab some Botox. When I come back, I want to hear your plan. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so
I feel like I believe you that she said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I 100% legit. So I'm like, listen, you need 2 buyer's agents. You need to get them now.
Caryn's like this. Hold on a second.
I'm going to go get some Botox.
Now.
I have done a coaching call. I've done a coaching call while getting Botox. Margot can attest.
Oh, man.
I know. Right. But Katie, at least Katie understands me. She 100%.
Thank you for that. Yes. And we did it and we're there. So thank you very much. And I think you spit out something like, if you're not at 50% listings, you need a buyer's agent, if not 2. So I did.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Someone said, way to inspire agents to work smarter and take the vacation. Katie, a lot of people, I think, would feel like, honestly, like guilt or that they haven't earned it or the worth around it and that they shouldn't do that. Like when I first heard that Katie Fish is, well, you know what happened? It was really cold. So you're like, let's just stay. Right. Well, you actually went to Florida a week before you went to Hawaii last year because it was cold.
After you came back because of what do they call it? The polar vortex.
It was cold. So you left town again.
Yeah, I'm like, my tan's going to crumble up and fall off. We need to go somewhere warm. Hurry up.
Yeah. And so people do not understand you work to live, not live to work, even though you work a lot. Like, don't get it twisted. But I do think it is a good testament to show that you can have that balance. And it's awesome because I wouldn't even feel like I could do that. So it's great that you can give an example.
You totally could. You could be up playing tennis at 4:30 in the morning in Hawaii.
I know. I've never been to Hawaii.
Where do you stay when you go to Hawaii? Do you have like a place or do you?
I've never been, Katie. Are you inviting me? Is this an invitation?
Yes, you will come. Bring your tennis gear and let's go. We'll make reservations. We stay on Maui and there is a condo building. When I was a kid, my parents used to take us to Hawaii over Christmas break. And there's a condo building that I always appreciated. So as an adult now, all of these condos are now renovated. So we stay in that same tower and it just depends on which one's available which year. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Anything left for the Katie Fish that you'd like to know, Nick Baldwin? Because when you two meet, you are going to be fast friends. She is so
What do you?
She bought me a mink scarf.
Oh, I did buy you a mink scarf from York.
A cashmere and like fox scarf.
I hope people are listening. You did 72 transactions last year, and you enjoy your life. You know what I mean? Like people need to really focus. It's not about. And
she has fun.
Realtors like to brag about how much they work. And the only thing that I think of when I hear that is that's just exhausting. Like 2 a.m. writing offers. Why? If you were purposeful with your time, you wouldn't have to be doing that at 2 a.m. Like, do you want a medal or a monument or cookies? Like, seriously.
Well, it's also
nobody thinks that that's cool except you.
It's always important, too, that she takes her business very seriously, but she has a lot of fun. And that's who we try to find for our show in the morning, right? People who have a lot of fun and don't take themselves too seriously. Like Katie doesn't mind looking goofy or silly. Doesn't happen very often. Yeah. It's really fun. So
who said that? Did Sean Rawls say, don't take yourself too seriously, but also always treat your business seriously?
Yeah, that's what I always say. Like I joke around a lot, but I don't joke around about money.
Nope. Don't mess with my money, Caryn.
Don't you mess with my money.
I know you've been messing with my money.
Don't you mess with my money.
Where my money?
I hope the dance song has to do with money at the end here.
I need to change
Money,
it.
money.
Totally need to change it. All right.
Ooh,
Katie,
I should have brought up my money gun.
Oh, you should.
More money, more problems.
More money, more I have said that this week, actually.
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems. Not more money, more problems.
Is it more money, more problems?
More money, more. Ted Fish, why don't we buy a giant RV like that? Not like the one we
You in an RV with Ted?
A big bus one? Oh yeah, that's a whole nother show. Big bus size one, and I said, more money, more problems.
And no, you are not getting in an RV with Tanner and your husband Ted, who is like a kid. No,
I did last weekend. Yeah, 4 nights. There is a new sound. I should have recorded it called "Raindrops on an RV Roof." 3 nights in a row it rained. Yeah,
we were gonna get an RV, but we didn't get one yet. I don't know. We're gonna think about it.
No. My dad tried to take us camping once in an RV. We rented a Winnebago. He has 5 daughters. Okay, so he decides we're gonna go camping. All the Schmidt girls. Well, my oldest sister brought curlers. Kathy brought a toaster oven. Somebody else brought a blow dryer, and we drove up to Lake Geneva. And that night, we were already out of hot water. We got stuck in the mud, and he turned around, and we came home. That was it. That was the Schmidt's experience with camping.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, 5 girls. Like Carol brings her curlers or whatever. Probably Kathy. I don't remember, but yeah, you can't take 5 girls camping. Like that was unacceptable. No, absolutely not. Katie, we have no.
Me and 2 boys, it was not that bad. We're actually going to rent one for Thanksgiving week to go see Ted's family in Ohio.
Go Bucks! OH! I
only go glamping.
I know. I would go glamping. All right, I got a hustle because I got someone calling me 3 times in a row.
Who?
So it's
with the Jason Abrams.
It is.
Oh. He should know that you do every morning.
Can you talk? I'm doing my show. Can you talk 15 minutes? It's been 15 minutes. I said 5 more minutes. Like, he knows what I do every Monday, Wednesday.
If he wants to talk to you, he needs to do a show with you 3 times a week like me.
Oh my God. Yeah. Look, I mean, I'm in trouble. Do you think I'm in trouble? I didn't do it. All right, here we go. New song.
Thanks for having me.
All right, bye everybody.
Step by step.
Have an awesome Monday.
Bye.